You know what I can't stand? It's those holier-than-thou purists who have these extreme idealistic views, and they won't ever bend and they won't ever compromise, and then they think they're better than everybody else. But they're really just naive children, always spouting their unrealistic pie-in-the-sky nonsense. And I'll give you an example. Murder has been a tradition and a time-honored institution for all of recorded history, all around the world, in all sorts of different cultures and religions. And yet there are some extremist kooks who today advocate zero murder, like none. They don't want any murder to happen. And when I ask them to show me one country where there isn't any murder, of course they can't. They can't just be realistic and reasonable and advocate a moderate amount of murder like the rest of us. You know, just limited, minimal murder, just the necessary amount. No, they have to oppose all murder because they're just so principled. Well, grow up. That's not how reality works. I mean, even if you think the ultimate goal is to have no murder, which in itself is pretty crazy, you can't just advocate jumping to that all at once. You have to be practical and realistic. For example, I wouldn't be opposed to a policy where we decrease murder maybe 3% per year for a few years and see how things go. But no, these fringe weirdos always have to purity spiral and say, no, all murder is bad, and we should oppose all of it completely right now. Look, it's one thing to have some philosophical notion that says that murder is bad in theory or whatever, but this is the real world, and all reasonable, educated people know full well that we need to have just the right amount of murder. I mean, not constant murder, but not zero murder either. We need a sort of middle-of-the-road compromise, a balance between peaceful coexistence and perpetual homicide. So I'm always telling these people, look, buddy, this is the real world, and you got to give up these immature, childish, silly notions. I mean, if you want to condone pretty much murder or even hardly any murder, I can respect that. I mean, those ideas are at least realistic, and we can have a rational debate about exactly what level of murder society needs. But all this talk about going to extremes and opposing all murder in principle, the people who say that kind of stuff, those are the crazy kooks you really need to worry about. Who knows what they're capable of? Next, they'll be saying they don't want any armed robbery, or they don't want any innocent people being violently assaulted at all, anywhere. So who knows where it all ends? So yeah, we can all have our own opinions, and we can debate what the ideal level of murder is for society. But these people who take it too far, pushing these crazy ideas of wanting a world without any murder, you mark my words, they're the real threat to society.